Well, hey guys, this is Steven with Intune Music and Sound, and we're just joining you today this afternoon. As we've been doing for the last several weeks, we've been challenging people to create their own music at home with the equipment that they have at their disposal. And we did a challenge between our stores, and we had a lot of fun with that. Well, last week we went ahead and put out the challenge to the community, to the public, for people to submit their videos or a song they've been working on, and now we're gonna talk a little bit about that. I'm gonna go ahead and ask to see if I can get my guys to go ahead and join on at this time. How you guys doing?
Hey, Steven.
We do.
All
Going
righty.
on.
It is going. We got Kyler from Midland, Mr. Rick Owens, who handles our IT out in Abilene. And then we got a few guests today, Abraham and Jacob, who have participated in this wonderful project of Your Turn, hashtag Your Turn music challenge at home. How are you guys doing today?
Good, man.
Doing good.
Now, why don't you guys go ahead and tell us what was the project that you decided to submit and turn in, and kind of talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, so there was just a cover piece, a song called Captured by Isla Vista Worship. Got a hold of these guys. We're actually missing one, the superstar, the vocalist, but we just got together. I reached out to them and said, hey, let's throw something together. And so we did just that. I do a lot of stuff out of my studio here, which is Creative Element Studios. So we got together. He actually learned it day of. So we practiced it a couple times, got the parts down, and then jumped into recording it.
That sounds cool. What is y'all's process? I mean, how did you decide to use instrumentation? I noticed it wasn't drums. It was, it was acoustic set. What was your kind of thought process? Or you just kind of just got where you were and just kind of went with it?
So I like to do a lot of acoustic stuff. Not always putting a lot of drums to it. So when I have some guys come in, usually what I do is we go through it a few times, just make sure we're all on the same page. I'll do a preliminary track with recording so I can get a mix, make sure, they're using in-ears. So make sure they can hear themselves. Vocalists can hear themselves. Do a mix, make sure everybody's having good levels and everything. And then we'll run it with video, recording audio and video at the same time. And then after that, I just sync up everything when I do my video editing.
Okay, that's cool. That was the next question I was going to ask about the video part, because it seems like these days that's a very important element to capture audience members and to keep people wanting to continue to check out each project you put out. That was very well done. It was awesome.
Appreciate it.
You have any comments, Kyler?
Yeah, I do have a comment. First of all, I like the song a lot. So I think you did a great job, Abraham, and Jacob, great job as well. And is it Devin is the missing one?
Yeah, Devin.
Okay. Well, he did great as well. So first of all, I wanted to tell you guys that. I was curious, whenever you record, Abraham, do you ever layer parts after the initial recording, or do you mostly just try to capture everything you can live and then use that?
So for the most part, with the style of stuff that I do, I try to do everything all at once. If for some cases I'll go back and add like a pad layer on piano or something like that, or maybe some acoustic guitar. But that's not very often. Usually I like the feeling, and I think you would agree with playing that live interaction of hearing all the parts.
Yeah, I will say it is very different to kind of sit in a room with everybody and do it all together, instead of like some of us don't have as much experience as other people, but sitting in a room and tracking it by yourself and then just kind of letting everyone come in one by one and do it that way. It's way different for the feel of for the recording, for one, because you kind of get just a good live sound, and there's also a different chemistry that
Yeah.
takes place when
Yeah.
you're in the same room as everybody and you're kind of grooving together, or you're kind of watching each other like, hey, I like that. Let me do something that complements that. So it's way different to do it together live and record it that way than to sit back and say, okay, we're going to do this one time, and then the next go around, I'll layer something else on top of that.
Okay. Well, I was just kind of curious because there was times where I thought, now this is where I'm gonna get, I guess, a little nerdy for a second. Were you playing acoustic guitar on that track, Abraham,
No, so I
or
was,
was that your guitar?
yeah, that was my guitar. So I was just kind of doing some comping because he was doing really, really big full chords. So I just did some light comping underneath it. That was just enough to kind of hear it, but not to knock the wall down and say, hey, I'm the superstar.
Well, and that's why I was kind of curious because I think you did a great job there because I couldn't tell if it was acoustic or electric, and I think that's a good thing,
Yeah, it was just that one electric that was on video.
at least until you started soloing.
Yeah,
It was
so
pretty
yeah.
clear at that point.
I did hear a very good balance between the instruments, and nothing was popping out or sticking out. It sounded very good. And again, haven't met your vocalist, but he does have some good chops there. What digital workstation or DAW do you use to record?
So I run Logic Pro X.
Okay, cool. We've just been nerding out here lately these
Yeah,
last
man,
few weeks, and just kind of trying to. Our whole goal was to start this conversation. Obviously, you've been doing your thing, and I see so many, even professional musicians all around the world are jumping into this new wave of like, okay, we got to do this remotely, and it's really cool to see all the projects going on right now. And we just felt, well, why can't we start the community? Why can't we start this conversation in our community and share these things and learn from one another? Because there's so many different ways to go about music and recording, and what I'm learning is there's not just like one cookie cutter, this is what you do and this is your product. It's kind of cool to explore different and hear from different people of how they do it, to also gain more, I guess, knowledge on your palette, I guess you would say. What were some, if anything, was there any challenges in that specific project y'all submitted?
I think I would say so. That was a cover that we did. It's not an original, and so a lot of times you draw inspiration from. Obviously, you have to want to like the song,
Yeah,
to want to have to cover it,
Yeah.
right? But there comes a moment where you want to emulate something completely different without ruining the integrity of the way the song was meant to be.
Yeah.
So I think the challenge there is, how do you fit yourself? Because every single one of us are different kinds of musicians. There's people that have different chops, different flavors, different styles, different likes, different dislikes. So how do you go about adding yourself in and not making this just another, cookie cutter cover of a different song? How do you make it yours? How do you add yourself in that without completely just ruining the song and what it was meant to be in the first place?
Cool.
Well, all that being said, do you want to? I think it's a good time to show the song, right?
Yes, I would love to see it.
All right.
Awesome.
So we're gonna mute everybody, but we're gonna play your song, so you might recognize a couple guys.
Hey, Kyler, I think you got to unmute yourself, buddy.
Pain makes my questions grow too large, and I feel that I run too far. My memory fails me right. I get enslaved to my own mind. Forgetfulness of your grace drags me around for miles until I see the corner of your smile. You were good to me before I knew your name. Your grace freed me from selfish pain. I was lost and I felt the need for you. Ooh, how could I ever leave? You've captured my heart in ways didn't know I could be captured. You captured my heart in ways didn't know I could be captured. I fall so short from what I can achieve. Start to agree with what I don't believe. My sensory fails the truth as I disremember who I am in you. Forgetfulness of your grace drags me around for miles until I see the corner of your smile. You were good to me before I knew your name. Your grace freed me from the selfish pain. I was lost and I felt the need for you. Ooh, how could I ever leave? You captured my heart in ways no I could be captured. You captured my heart in ways didn't know I could be captured. Capture my heart, capture my heart, yeah.
Well, great job there, guys.
Thanks.
Thanks.
So I guess before we wrap this up, can people expect to see more of this in the future from you? Where do you want people to go if they want to watch more of your stuff? And is there anything else that you want to say before we go?
Yeah, so definitely lots more content coming. You can follow me on Facebook at Creative Element Studios, on Instagram and YouTube at Creative Element Studios, and that logo you saw at the end is how you can search that up. Jacob and Devin are actually part of a group as well. Do you want to talk about y'all's?
Sure. So we're a part of a group that actually has had the opportunity to kind of expand a lot, and we're kind of connected all in the same circle of people. So
Yeah.
it's really neat. So you'll see a lot of us working with Abraham, and Abraham, hopefully he'll come and help us do some stuff. But we're a part of a group called West Texas Praise, and you can follow us on Instagram at West_Texas_praise. And you'll hopefully within the next coming days, you'll also see some stuff from us as we're kind of doing stuff like Steven said remotely, and kind of just having to embrace this whole stay-at-home thing and stay indoors and not be out. So you'll definitely see some stuff coming from us, but hopefully in the near future, we get to collab completely with Creative Element and do something real big here in the coming days.
Yeah,
Awesome.
that's what I love doing that out of here, just the creative process, and hopefully through creating, folks
Just
get
have-
inspired.
Again, just great job on y'all's project. Thanks for taking the time to share with us and to share with your friends, and we're gonna share those. I just have a quick question. How does a project like that? What's the timeline? Like from start to finish? Is it vary?
So, how long did it take us to do that?
It took a couple of hours, but it was
Wow.
one of those
It's-
things. That's,
just a couple hours.
well,
You guys are great.
So there's different processes. Of course, you have to sit in here and learn it, hash it out, and kind of talk ideas and how we want to go about it. So that process takes a couple of hours, and then actually recording it is another couple of hours. And then of course the video editing and the EQing and mastering, the audio stuff. I imagine that takes.
Yeah.
More-
So yeah,
more
I guess from start to finish, what we met that day, what, at 2?
Two.
It was like 2:00. He came in, learned the parts. Devin came in. We went through it a couple times just to make sure we had it. Then recorded the audio. So the audio part we finished probably by, and that includes me mixing it, mastering it, by I think like 7:30 or 8:00. And that was, we had never practiced it before, so we did it day of. And then the next day, I did all the video editing in Final Cut, linked everything together, put the audio, merged it, synced it up, and so it was, I don't know, probably
A day.
a day's worth, 8 hours in total. If you
And the
Take
reason I asked this because I want people to know that these things do take time. It's just we don't just get in, plugged in, and boom. But great job, guys, and I really appreciated the video.
Abraham,
Yeah,
what software did you record that with?
So I do audio on Logic Pro, and then I do all my video editing on Final Cut.
Okay.
And if people wanted to ask questions, I know I'm gonna have some questions off air. We could just reach out to you at Creative Elements Studios.
Yeah, so YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram, Creative Element Studios.
Cool.
And we're going to have a link posted below so you guys can check out Abraham's video. That'll be on our YouTube page at the very least. So if you want to watch it again or share it with your friends, we'll have a post so you can do that with. Abraham won the competition. I don't know if we actually ever said that, so I wanted to make sure that we said that. Abraham was the only one daring enough to actually submit a video. So congratulations, Abraham.
Counts.
Right. It does. Hey, but
But we just
honestly,
wanna thank you guys for doing
you
that.
guys for creating a platform like this for people
Yeah.
to be able to. I know stuff like this can be intimidating to people, or not intimidating, but you always ask, like, where do I start? So
Yeah.
thank you guys at Intune for providing this
Definitely.
kind of stuff. I've been following a lot of the videos you guys have been doing, so it's really good stuff. Thank you guys for taking the time to provide that to the community.
Sure.
And let's
well,
just,
that being said, Abraham he needs to share some of that with you. So make him share. He needs to share his prize with you. That's all I'm getting at.
Okay.
And we're just going to end the video, basically encouraging you to do this, because I think kind of what Jacob was getting at. Sometimes the hardest thing is to figure out, how do I actually start doing it? Because you can start to accumulate gear, you can talk about how much you want to do something, but the most important thing is to actually go out and do it. And I appreciate you guys for putting that initiative out there and showing other people that, hey, this can be done. And we want to encourage everybody to make music. That's what we have been all about. I mean, that's what Into Music is about. So another thing we want to talk about, we're doing a thing called My 15-Second Music Show right now. So send us a video, basically have a short video talking about yourself, just introducing yourself, and then a short video of you playing something in 15 seconds. This is something we just want to share across our platform, so hopefully you can get some new audiences. And I think it's something that I don't think anybody has an excuse to not put their phone up and record something for 15 seconds. And that's kind of what we're wanting that to be.
Yeah.
A less produced version of what you guys did. I mean, listen, I think what you guys did was great, but we obviously want to cater to everything in between there. So I think, unless you guys have anything else to say, or Steven,
Yeah,
think
it was-
we're
it
good
was-
to go for today.
Yeah, it was amazing. And I want to apologize to everyone for the laggy video today. It's the internet, and we don't have any control over that. But thank you for everyone bearing with us as we get through this. And thank you, Abraham. It was great video. Thanks for being with us, guys.
Yeah,
And
thank
we'll
y'all
post
so
a
much.
link, right, Rick?
Absolutely.
Yeah, that way you can watch the video on your own internet and watch it in real time. So thank you guys.
All right. You guys have a wonderful weekend.
Thank you. You too. Wait, don't talk.